Alright guys, today I'm going to be walking you through basic iGrade operations. What we have here today, we've got a tractor hooked up to two pans. We've got a carryall on the front and an ejector pan on the back. Both of them have RTK receivers. I'm just going to walk you through kind of the setup of iGrade, how to set up a home page for iGrade, how to set your zeros, and how to change offsets as you're working. And so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the application controller. For today's purposes, we're going to set this up for plane control. And so if we wanted to change control methods, or if we needed to put this into plane control, we'd come and hit letter G and go into setup, and then we'd go to control selection. And so as you can see, SCV1 and SCV3 are only two options, so we need to make sure that our pans are hooked up to either 1 or 3. We've got our front pan on 1, our back pan on 3, and we need to make sure that we have plane control selected on both. If you were going to put this into remote control or a different control method, what you would need to do, you'd change it over to remote control on both SCVs. And after you change control methods, you need to power your tractor completely off, let the display power down, let your iGrade controller power down, and then power it back up for the application controller to switch methods. So we're going to put this back in plane control just for today's purposes. So we've got plane control on SCV1 and SCV3, so we're good to go there. The next thing we need to do is set up an iGrade homepage, and we're going to do that just like you would set up any other homepage. We're going to come into Layout Manager, and as you can see, they've already got a homepage set up here, but I'm just going to walk you through how to do that. Whenever we're setting up an iGrade homepage, we need to either use letter H or letter I here on the side. I prefer using letter H, so we're going to select that. We're going to come into our top section here, and you can do a couple different things here. You can set up video here, or you can use something in GS3. I like putting mapping at the top just so we can see where our AB lines are if we're wanting to auto track while we're moving dirt. So we'll select our mapping page for the top. We're going to come over to this section over here on the right side of the screen and go into our application controller. And this is our only option for the tall side on the right. And so we're going to select that, and that'll show us our error. It's going to show us our offset, and then it's also going to show us our GPS accuracy. We're going to come into this bottom square on the left and select our application controller again, and we have two options. We're going to put this one on the left, and then we're going to put this one on the right. So now we have our home page set up, and we have everything that we need for iGrade on one single page, so we're not having to flip back and forth. So once we have that home page set up, we're going to hit accept here. That way it saves it, and as you can see, it brings it into one of our home pages. So we've got our home page set up, we've got plane control method selected. Now we're going to talk about setting a zero. So when we go to the field, setting a zero is the very first thing we need to do. It's a very, very critical thing. To set our zero, we're going to come in to single slope entry. And so we've selected plane control, we're doing a single slope. This is where we would put our slope in. So as you can see, these guys have this set up for a 1/10. And our slope direction is set at 0, which would be north. To set our zero on our front pan, all we need to do is drive to our neutral, set our blade down to where it's just touching the ground, and we're going to hit set plane origin here. As you can see, we don't have any GPS coming in right now. We don't have a tripod set up in the field or a base station set up. We're actually on the yard of one of our farmers' shops right now, and so we don't have a tripod set up, so our GPS accuracy is going to say bad. But we would have GPS data coming in, and when we set plane origin, it would zero that out. So like I said, we have two pans on the back of this tractor. So we've got our front pan set after we hit set plane origin, and to set our zero on our back pan, we're going to back out of that, and we're going to come to parameter setup, and we're going to go into offset setup. And so there's a couple different ways you can do this, but the best way and the most accurate way is to take a measurement of your front pan from the cutting edge of the blade up to your GPS receiver. A lot of people say to measure to the light on the GPS receiver. So we'll take a measurement from the cutting edge of our front blade to the GPS receiver, and then we're going to go to our back pan and take a measurement from the cutting edge of our blade on our back pan up to the GPS receiver, and we're going to take the difference of those two. And so we have an option here to say scraper 2, which would be our back pan, is either higher or lower than our front pan. And so in this situation, our scraper 2 is lower, and it's lower by 1.8 feet. And so that's where you would enter that difference in as needed. So after you do that, and we've got our zeros set, we have a couple different options. So if you were moving dirt and you realized that you needed a little bit more dirt to finish up the field, you could shift your offset down, or you could shift your offset up if you noticed that you were using a little bit too much dirt. And to change that, you can come in here to parameter setup, offset setup, and then you can change your plane offset step size. So what this means is every time you hit the shift offset up button or the shift offset down button, it's going to adjust it by that much. And so you can come in and change that number to either increase or decrease the amount of space you're offsetting when you hit shift offset up or down. That just about covers everything. Like I said, you would want to make sure that your GPS accuracy said good, but that covers everything for the most part to get you in the field and going with iGrade. Thank you guys.